In this video we are going to talk about horrifying claustrophobic stories. So before starting, please like this video and subscribe to this channel for our future updates. Fear is a subjective and individual experience. Those things that haunt your nightmares and those things that make your breath accelerate are most likely not the same things. Some people are more vulnerable to the effects of subtle creeping fear and hidden forces. Number 10. It by Stephen King. To begin our list with a book about a monster that can read minds, shapeshift objects, telekinetically transport people, and regenerate, it seems only fitting that we start with one about a monster that can read minds, shapeshift objects, telekinetically transport people, and regenerate. It knows your phone number. However, if you suffer from one of the most common human phobias, the fear of spiders, you should expect to have some restless nights ahead of you. Number 9. A Feast of Snakes by Harry Crews. No matter how vehemently opposed you are to the fanged beasties that slither around in the crawlspace beneath your home, you are unlikely to find the snakes to be the most terrifying aspect of this dark southern tale. Against the backdrop of an annual rattlesnake roundup in rural Georgia, the twisted novel by Harry Crews from 1976 depicts tragedies, sadness, racism, drunkenness, misogyny, abuse, dog fighting, redneck wrath, insanity, and violence, as well as other themes. Snakes are burned, eaten, and released into the woods to be hunted, but humans are the ones who do the worst things. Number 8. The Girl Next Door by Jack Ketchum. Vampires, mummies, werewolves, and other such monsters are frightening enough, but one could argue that humans are the most horrific monsters ever created by human hands. The unsettling knowledge that you know, or that you are, someone who is exactly like the characters, that even seemingly decent people are capable of atrocities beyond our imaginations if placed in the right situation, and that the human mind is capable of devolving into madness with remarkable rapidity, is even more difficult to stomach than the characters' actions. Number 7. The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. It is widely recognized as the finest haunted house story ever penned, according to the Wall Street Journal. It is both an atmospheric and understated classic ghost story, with knocking on walls, spirit writing, and mysterious footsteps, and a voyage into the broken human mind, with knocking on walls, spirit writing, and unexplained footsteps. Number 6. Tock by Dean Koontz. A malevolent rag doll pursues a writer relentlessly, and leaves threatening messages on his computer screen. The plot is as absurd as it sounds. If dolls bother you, you won't find the antics entertaining. Koontz takes an uncharacteristic detour into absurdist comedy. Number 5. The Rising by Brian Keene. Sure, the walking dead are unsettling, but don't you have a sneaking suspicion you'd be able to outwit or outrun them if the worst happened? After all, zombies are usually depicted as hobbling, easily distracted creatures incapable of rational thought in most zombie fiction. Keene's zombies, on the other hand, are a different story. To make matters worse, humans aren't the only ones who have died. Zombie birds, fish, bats, monkeys, lions, and other animals are all on their way to eating your brains. Number 4. The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. This 6,000-word classic from 1890 is a claustrophobic fall into madness. The journal entries in the novel are written by a woman whose husband has confined her in a barred room to treat her temporary nervous distress. With nothing to occupy her days but elaborate yellow wallpaper, she begins to envision figures moving around behind the patterns. From there, it's all downhill. Number 3. Haunted by Chuck Palahniuk. Although the novel is set on land, Haunted is included on this list because it contains guts, and if there is a more bizarre narrative about water and running out of oxygen, I'm not interested in hearing about it. You don't either if you're aquaphobic. If you don't pass out while reading the narrative, as many people have, you'll grimace as you consider how far you'd travel for a breath of air. Number 2. The Wolfen by Whitley Strieber. Strieber's werewolves, like Keene's zombies, are frightening because they aren't your average brainless dog people. They are a community of fierce and intelligent wolfmen who lurk in the shadows of humanity, undetected. They are not above using devious methods to entice you closer, such as imitating the sound of a human baby in distress. Number 1. I Am Legend by Richard Matheson. Listen up, Will Smith isn't involved in this at all. The bleakness and loneliness of this post-apocalyptic story aren't captured in the Hollywood movie. During the day, the last human hunts vampires. As the bloodsuckers battle to gain access to his home as night falls, he barricades himself inside and waits for dawn. The tragic and disturbing tale is less about vampires as it is about the human mind, and darkness, always darkness. What do you think about our video? Please let us know in the comments area below. If you enjoyed this video and would want to hear from me again, please subscribe and turn on the notification before leaving. Thank you for watching us.